Hello, 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 beautiful creatures. How are you doing today? So, I actually had a fantastic time at Kongaparken, which is the amusement park that is not too far away from where I live, but it is quite the distance. So it would like if, for example, if we were to take the electric bikes, me and my partner, it would take us like almost an hour to get there. And since we were in a car, it didn't take that long, but we were with another couple that could drive. So it was like kind of like a double date, and it was a lot of fun. I went to this like 80-meter drop thing. It's called Stippen. I'm not sure what it's called in English, but it is like 80 meters tall, and it goes 125 kilometers an hour. And I am terrified of heights. So I was like, okay, I can go there once, but I went twice. And I was like, I can't even scream when it goes that fast. So I'm like, nope, holding on for dear life. And I didn't pass out. I didn't throw up. I called it a win. I had a lot of fun. I went on a lot of rides. I got 2 teddy bears. I got myself a lollipop. Our friend Teddy actually won this gigantic Toblerone. I actually forgot to take a picture of it. We were so fucking dead at the end. It was like it was the end that he actually won the Toblerone. Otherwise, it would have melted like straight away. It was so warm. It said 27 degrees Celsius here, and but honestly, it felt like 30. So there's like a water area. Hey Onyx, how you doing, sweetheart? Hello, my brother, darling. Hi. So there's like a water area in Kongapaken where, you know, kids can run around and cool off. But you're allowed to like go there. You don't have to wear a swimsuit. It's not a swimming pool, it's just like water that splashes on you and, you know, cooling off. Kind of fun little park area for kids. I stood under one of those buckets of water and I was like, and my partner was like, get under the bucket. I'm like, pointed up, looked my head down, boom, water all over me. And I'm like, that it feels so nice. Honestly, I had to do it. It was just so fucking warm. But we are back at it again today with our debut week and all the fun stuff. But Onyx, sweetheart, darling, if you do have time, if you can, I am totally up for some games. Oof. It is warm today, but it is windy, so it's like 21 degrees outside, the computer says. My phone says 27, and I'm like, it's probably 25 or 24. I think I fixed the model, so I'm gonna stand up and see if it disappears again. There we go. Yeah, it's not moving. I'm out of range. It's staying there. I fixed it this morning. Wonderful. So, I'm just gonna start with some Genshin today, because there is still the event up, and also we have new banners as well. So for the wishes, not that I'm going to try and get any of them, but I was mainly aiming for Seto. So if he's not on the banner, I'm not gonna try and get anything. Oh yeah, Miku sent us a gift. Oh, that's cute. Alright. So we have this one. We have been doing this one. Here. No, wait. Wait a minute. Yes, we have. Haha, we have. So these are open today. This one opens tomorrow. And this one too. So these are open today. We're gonna definitely be doing that. And we also have new test runs. Hell yeah, let's go! Oh, that is so cool. Oh, we have Sea Dreams. We're gonna unlock that because we can. We're just gonna unlock it. There's nothing more, really. I'm not gonna be doing any of that stuff right now. But we do have things to do today. Most of the stuff that we did was for the week. It has actually been completed, except for these two. But I can't really purchase 2 items from Teapot Traveling Salesman in another place around a Teapot unless I have someone to go to. And I would like to, like, visit a friend instead of, you know, whoever. Let's see. Oh, yeah, we're definitely trying to get this. The event. As for the banner that is up, we have Siege Wayne. I don't see Seto on here. So, that's definitely a big no-no. Maybe we can try and get Farina, because she is pretty cool. She really is. Pretty dope. She's a really cool character. Alright, so at least we now have 2. So all we gotta do now is get a few things up and running. I am going to try and get some other things done today. Let's see, what do we have in our bags? We have... Okay, we do have 5 condensed resin. We have these. Oh, we can use the blue one. We can use the blue wish. Let's see what we get. Absolute fuck all. As you can probably hear, I'm really tired. Like, no. No. I'm gonna be in a really chill mood today. Okay, what do we get? Tassel. Okay, fine. Whatever. Alrighty. So. We have a lot of characters on 80. As we can see here. Yes, we do. We get a lot. Donate quite a few of those. I need to get her artifacts. God damn it. No, 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 no. I'm busy. I do not know you. I'm sorry, but I do not know you. Alright, we do have our expeditions that we would like to get. Definitely.
Ad Astra Abyssosk.
I mean, we can't do the dailies as well. Or the daily commissions. That's not a problem. It's always fun. Okay, we did everyone. Yes, wonderful. Perfect. Don't need to do anything much really here. What I want to do though is I want to get some wolf hooks. Wolf hooks we need 400 in total. We had like 200 and something. Well, we have to go a certain route, and there's also a few other things around here. Ugh. I might actually do the Trounce domains, just because then I get the weekly stuff for them. Oh, I see. It seems I have attracted some enemies that I did not intend. Did not intend to attract these. We have enough of these guys here, but I am still going to just collect them just because they're here. It doesn't hurt to get more. Nope. Nope.
I'll protect us.
There we go. Well, at least it dropped things that we do actually need for our characters, so... Not a waste of time. At least we got some stuff that we actually do need. Which is perfectly fine. Let's see. is a few things around. Having more is better than less. Ah, there we go. Yes, mining is done for the day. There we go. So daily commissions we can also do. But in the meantime, I'm gonna go ahead. Since it just goes faster with Ningguang, I'm just gonna get that party. There. This goes faster with her because she is like... Yeah. She just dominates the entire, like, thing. And also she's super easy. It's not hard to level her up, it's just a matter of getting the materials. No character is hard to level up, it's just the grind that is, like, the most tedious thing. Otherwise, it's pretty simple. It really is. I'm just gonna switch to our original. Because I only need an Ingon for that short amount of time. I don't need her for, like, the entire run here. There are gonna be enemies about when we get a little further up. But what we're mainly doing is we're just going ahead and getting some things that are around here. Just because we can, and, you know, it's actually beneficial for us to begin with. Who stepped in the fire? There we go.
Let's dance.
Enemies aren't that difficult. Just mainly annoying. Nothing else. Let go. Up the tree. Look on this way. There was a wolf hook here that I wanted, and I picked that up earlier. So, could be that. These. There we go. Now the wolf hook only grows in a certain place, so just going here and keeping an eye out. Not that difficult. Really, it's only a few enemies around here. Like here and there. But taking down these enemies is not a problem either. It's not that big a deal, it's just more or less, sometimes it's really tedious. But other times it's not.
Nice and spicy.
I think that was all. Oh, oops, that was not the plan. I wanted the mask. Oh, yes, please. Getting the Lumidos bells and other things. Also, getting what was it? Sorry, there is a certain thing that is like from fireflies here in Mondstadt, or just fireflies in general. That is, oh, where was it? Fuck, I need... These. The luminescent spine. This is from fireflies. So if you see a little light thing floating around, press F repeatedly just to get it. Because trust me, it will help. Because it is for a character, I think it was, Sucrose that needs that for Ascendance. Or something like that, I can't remember, but it is important to get them. Now go here. Oh, here is a... That was a dandelion seed there, but I have to have like an animal character for that. The reason why I'm going back here to the path is because there are things here that I would like to get. As you can see. There, here's one. So on the path to Womandom there is wolf hooks. And around it. You just gotta look around for it. So look out for the sparkly things here on the screen. If you have turned off like the sparkle thing, finding these might actually be a lot more difficult. But I don't think you can turn it off. Which I think is a good thing, because otherwise it would be an absolute pain to try and find anything in here. In this game. I know I keep going a lot to Genshin, but I do really, really, really do love this game. I knew there was one here. Right there. I'm really adamant about getting all the materials that I need. Because if you don't have the materials that you need for ascending characters or leveling them up or whatever, then what's the point? Then why play the game? If you're not going to, you know, do the thing you need to do. Some of the bushes you can actually get away just to see better. But sometimes you don't always see the sparkle. Getting these away is not a bad idea. Check down here. Case. Oh, we try to check everywhere. Just to be thorough. Okay, here's one. Else? Oh. Okay. So here is like 3 of them. On the other side of Womandom. Other side of this area. Where you fight the wolf. The big frost wolf. I just feel like it's better to check. Wait. This way. Anything? I'm not so sure if there's any more. I haven't been on this run for a little bit. So I'm just making absolutely sure. It's been a while. For obvious reasons. Okay, Gojo is going to make an appearance because I'm going to fix something. Alright, there. Now I can see both. Now I'm looking at my mic audio and the desktop audio. So for the game. Oh, there's some mining stuff over there. Let's see if there's any. It's a pine cone, I think. Well, it's easier to find that landmark towards Wolvendom than this one. Because I want these. Oh, the iron chunks do help. Therefore, crafting materials and also furniture in certain aspects of the Serenity Pot. Certain furniture. Not all of them, but certain ones. So we're back on the path here. I think I missed a few. Good thing we came back, because here are 2 more. Sweet. It's important to be thorough. Especially when it comes to this game. There we go. Ooh, 3. Sweet. I'll take it. Here's another here. So there's like a lot of forest area. So you do miss a few things. So I do recommend going back and just checking if you missed any. Because I certainly did. Look at that. I'm just clearing out this just to like see better. Here's a iron chunk, which we would like. So we're just clearing out the shrubbery just to see if we like missed anything. Oh, great egg, thank you. I'll take that. I know these look scary, but this is just the wolf marking his territory. He's a big wolf. He or she or whatever. I can't remember the gender. I think it was a she. Well, all in all. Yep. Also, when you destroy certain shrubbery, you get like maybe a bird's egg or a little lizard will appear or a butterfly or something like that. So destroying these is not exactly a waste of time. You do actually get something out of it sometimes. Me, I've destroyed this so many times that I get very little. It don't hurt to check everything around this. Just watch out for those things. Because this, if you get to do like this, this hurts. Those are exploding things. So I don't recommend doing that. I have a lot of health, so I can afford to do it because I can take the hit, but not everybody can. So watch out for those. Hey, Ilex! Oh dear God, are you gonna come? Are you here to torture me again? Is that it? Here to torture me again? Hi, you know the hole on the wall, that hole we talked about? You know the hole that I found and made bigger? That hole? Well, I broke down the whole wall by accident. Oh my... So there's just a, open area where the wall on my house used to be. Or no, sorry, that was no. Hang on, let me check. Yep, that was the fence. Okay, we're fine. I call it a new gate. I need to take so many disciplinary actions here. So many. Yeah, I think we found all the wolf hooks that we can, currently. But I did find some more mining stuff. Well, there isn't exactly a gate, buddy. There's a portal to my area, but you just took down the wall that protects us from the, meaner creatures outside, so I recommended that you actually close. Like, now. Watch me. I have no idea where we went. Oh, we're here. Okay. So where is the Daily Commission this time? That is my question. Go find out. Oh, Fontaine. It's not in Samaro, and it's not in Leeway, and it's not in Mondstadt, so it's in Inazuma. Let's go! They be faced the ones outside the wall fence. Anywho, how's your day going? My day is okay. Everything hurts still. I mean, I did go on that ride, like the 80-meter tall one with 125 kilometers an hour. So I am feeling it, man.
Let the show begin. Eat this! Hit! Hup! Hi! Hi! Huh! Huh!
You know what? I'll leave it. I'll leave those guys.
Boba, get them! That really hurt! Get nice and spiky! Help!
I really hate the balloon one sometimes.
Hi.
Damn. Okay, we got the balloon safely over. Kind of damaged, but we still made it. Sweet. Okay, next. Next one is up here. So.
Get them!
Don't be such a brute.
Let the show begin. Hi? Huh? Huh.
He, ha, hua. He,
Yeah. Huh? Huh? Huh?
you, ha,
Huh?
he, ha.
Alright, simple enough. Alright, let's go to... What? Okay. Kinda did. A little bit, but my stomach is just like... going, hey, by the way, here's a lot of fucked ton of pain. So my muscles on my stomach are just like going grrr at me. I think it also has something to do with a plank the day before. Like a 2-minute plank, I'm like, I kind of regret things. But I'm fine. I'm fine. I promise. But at least I get to take it easy for like a minute. That one. Sweet. Okay, we're gonna definitely collect these. Absolutely. Because we do need these things for ascensions and stuff. There we go. There are other ones that we also have to that we need to collect along the way. I just didn't think they would drop anything, but they did. So definitely going back for these. Look right there. And there's a there too. Alright, I think that was everything. Yep.
You,
No, it didn't drop anything other than more. Well, that's sad. No, I saw these. So I wanted them. last one is up here. And I'm not gonna be eating more beans. Yeah. All the way there, damn. That's quite far. Interesting. I'm just really happy that, you know, we have our model exists. And away we go. Sweet. And we're done with commission.
Ad Astra Abyssos. Thank you for completing today's commissions.
Here is your reward. Wonderful. Alright. Now I got that done. Let's see, I might have to do some of those trams domains that I mentioned. So we already did some of these. Yeah, it would be like, it refreshes in 3 days. So that's next week, yeah. So we can only do one once a week, but that's fine. That's perfectly fine. Wait, quick challenge. Oh. Ah, I see. No, I can only do 3 a week, apparently. Hang on. Let's see. Transdomain. Yeah, I can only do 3 a week, apparently. So we're down to that now. Alright. Wait, am I in cope mode? I don't think so. No, I'm not. I shouldn't be. Well, in any given case, should probably go ahead and continue our story quest at least. We have a lot of them, so we might as well do them, right? They give a lot of primogems, I think. Let's check when we load in again. Okay, go to make an appearance. I'm just absolutely sure that I wrecked the microphone. Can't have the wrong microphone. Like, that won't do.
Are we not taking the boat this time?
It's nice to walk from time to time, isn't it? Think of it as something like a hiking trip. Once we're there, we can stay a few days before we return.
Sounds good. I haven't walked this road in a long time.
Well, we've walked far enough for now. Let's take a break. Since we're out for a walk, we shouldn't stress too much about the destination.
I've grown old, so I'm not as fit as before. It's a good thing that at least my work down in the fortress was quite the workout.
Well, Paimon thinks you're doing great. We didn't have to slow down for you at all.
Back in the days before the aquabus lines were built, we often had to hike north with our goods, then catch a boat to the court. Malus and I must have traveled this way hundreds of times. When we were tired, we would lay down for a while on the grass, and when we were hungry, we'd catch a fish or two. The spina was still on the rise back then. Mr. Callus was generous, and everyone had the chance to strike it rich. So, of course, we all worked really hard. And now, in the blink of an eye, the aquabus lines have been built, and this road has fallen into disuse. Oh, I know. I was just being a little nostalgic.
Then let's stay here a bit longer. Anyone want snacks?
Oh, is this another chance to try some of Navia's macarons? Paimon's been dreaming of them.
Yep, I figured you wouldn't say no to a few more. Oh, wait. Let me check if I have all the ingredients. Malus and Silver used to take care of tasks like this. Okay, the stove's looking good. And as for the ingredients, seems like we're all out of flour and sugar. The two most important ingredients of all. Oh, would you? Oh, but it would be too much to ask you to go on a trip just for those.
We should contribute to making the macaron too. Don't worry, we cook out in the wild all the time, so she should have some stuff on hand.
Oh, that's great. Then I'll leave the ingredient gathering to you. As long as we have some sweet flours and wheat, I can start the baking.
Then I'll go look for some boxes nearby for a makeshift table and chairs.
Great. Then I'll prep the stove. Let's get to work, everyone.
No, this is actually pretty sweet. Thing is, I have a lot of stuff on hand. And I mean a lot. This is why I always carry extra stuff, just for occasions like this.
Ah, how did it go? Did you find the ingredients?
Sure frickin' did.
You've all done your part. Just leave the rest to me.
Whoa, these macarons look and taste magnificent! Your cooking is as good as ever, Navia.
Boss's baking skills have always been famous. Everyone in the Spina knows how exceptionally talented she is.
Oh, it's just a hobby. There's no need to praise me for it like that.
Have you two seriously never considered joining us? You're so close to the boss, and she obviously trusts you with all her heart, so...
Oh, I almost forgot actually. So sorry. So I wanted to thank Wolf Maiden, Scott Curato, Nicole was here, and for the follow, getting us up to 351. Thank you so much, guys. I really do appreciate it. I'm so sorry for not doing this earlier. I am so spaced out.
Oh, I see. Is that why you have to always stay on the road?
You just happened to walk in on our little reunion. It's actually been quite a while since we last spent time together. Adventurers never stay in one place for long. The name of Spina di Rosula would just tie them down. Besides, after everything we've been through together, I'm sure our hearts would remain intertwined even if we found ourselves on opposite sides of the world.
Even if Paimon was far beyond the horizon, she'd still remember the delicious taste of Navia's macaron.
I understand now. Then I am very lucky indeed to have been graced with the chance to meet the two of you. I will endeavor to make the most of this short yet fortuitous encounter, and enjoy every moment we spend together.
We've got no wine with us, but let's still toast with water, in celebration of this moment.
I thought I heard something just now. Was it just some small critter?
Cheers! Hey, what are you doing? Quick, join in on the toast!
May your travels go smoothly, may the Spina continue to grow, and may our friendship last until the end of time.
Agreed.
All set? Let's move out then.
Alright, we're not done yet, but we are going to continue. Definitely. I want to at least get one story quest out of the way and start another one.
I asked some old acquaintances in town to make Adele's uniform, so we should be able to pick it up right away. Ha! Hey there, Ludovine. How's business lately?
Ah, the demoiselle of Spina de Rosula. I must say, your generous patronage is the one thing keeping me from going bankrupt.
Nonsense. We all know what a talented businesswoman you are. No, and don't forget, she's the boss now.
My mistake, my mistake. I just got so used to calling her demoiselle. Are you here for the uniform?
Yep. I forgot to drop by earlier when I was running errands around here.
I didn't expect demoiselle to come and pick it up in person. It's just a uniform after all. Any of your folks could have come instead.
Navia's always liked to take even small things seriously.
Hey, that's not the only reason I'm here. We mostly just needed a walk to clear our heads. There are few things more uplifting than taking the first step on a new journey.
Boss has got a point. Going on a trip with friends is always better than staying cooped up at home.
Very well. Please, wait here while I retrieve the uniform for you.
Can someone remind Paimon again why Adele wants to join the Spina?
She hasn't given me any concrete reasons. All she says is that she really looks up to me. After we cleared her father's name, she became a lot more cheerful and outgoing. It's probably because she now knows for sure that her father was never a bad person. She said she used to be terrified of Papa. So, as a result, she found all the rest of the Spina super scary as well. But the Spina is very different now. She mustered up the courage to talk to me, and felt like I could really understand her. Yeah, you could say that. By uncovering the truth about the case, I was able to give her closure at the same time. She said that she wanted to become someone like me. Someone who could lend a hand to others, instead of standing still and waiting for others to help her.
From the sound of it, she'll be a wonderful addition to the Spina.
I think so too. But for now, let's focus on giving her a great atmosphere to grow and thrive. She can commit to us once she's older, and can really make that decision for herself.
So I wasn't just hearing things.
Is something up, Traveler? Huh? Tailing? Oh, Paimon's coming.
Hmm.
I'll go check it out too. Coulter, please hold on to this for me.
All right.
Interesting.
Paimon saw them too. They headed up.
Stop right there!
I really need the buff food, man. Got him.
We knew you were going to be difficult!
Seems like if we want them to talk, we're gonna need to teach them a lesson first.
Brothers, there's no need to skulk in the dark anymore. Let's take them out!
What? Dude, what did we ever do to you? Okay, you know what?
I'll protect us. Scatter! Now,
Interesting.
talk. Who are you? And why were you tailing us?
Don't think we'll let you off easy if you keep silent.
How did it go, boss? Are any of you hurt?
If you thought they stood any chance against us, you were sorely mistaken. Anyway, stop playing tough and start talking. There won't be any room for negotiation once the Maison Gardiennage gets involved.
We're looking to get vengeance on Spina di Rosula. We were discovered, and can't beat you in a fight. We admit it. We lost.
Get revenge? Wait, you're not Romeu's followers, are you?
You actually know that name? But if you do, then surely you should understand why we hate you so much!
Indeed. You haven't got the faintest hope of winning right now.
We were out drinking when we saw Navia. We got so angry we decided to follow you guys and look for an opportunity to really mess up your day. Too bad you guys messed up ours first. Huh? You're pretty sharp, but so what? We didn't do anything. And now it should be pretty obvious that we can't do anything to you anyway. Seeing you like that just really ticked us off. And we let the drink go to our heads.
Listen, Callus is long dead. No matter what happened in the past, I want to be able to start things anew. I am the current president of Spina di Rosula. If your boss wants to talk with me, I'd be happy to meet with him. I won't press charges for your attack. That should also help demonstrate my sincerity.
I understand. Thank you. I'll let our boss know.
But if you so much as think about pulling something like this again, I won't be so lenient next time. Understood?
All right. We get it. Come on, let's go.
Damn.
Are you sure it's okay to just let them go like that, Navia?
I don't want to inherit my father's grudges, too. Moreover, when it comes to the Aquabus, I don't think what my father did was entirely correct either. If the other side is willing to talk, I'm happy to open the door for a reconciliation. Opportunities for new beginnings are all around us.
I support Boss's decision as well. The concept of an eye for an eye is a primitive practice that has no place in today's Spina di Rosula.
Yes. Plus, we already know that they're strapped for cash. If their financial situation is that dire, they don't have what it takes to challenge us. So this may be the best time to talk. I still think we should keep an eye out for Romeu's folks, though. If he decides to ignore the warning I gave his men, then we could still have a fight on our hands.
Yeah, those guys definitely didn't look like big fans of yours.
I'd rather things not go that far, since, though we haven't talked to each other for years, once upon a time we were all a part of the Spina di Rosula family.
Yep, that's how I feel as well. Anyway, now that we've sent them packing, we don't have to worry about those guys anymore. It's getting late already, so why don't we stay the night in the Fleuve Cendre? We can head back to Poisson tomorrow. I'll also ask someone to write Florent a letter and inform him of everything that happened here today, so he can increase security around Poisson and be on guard against any suspicious individuals.
Do we have to stay in the Fleuve Cendre again? Even the pillows there smell like seaweed.
Sorry, that's just what happens when you live near water and don't get much sunlight. Poisson's pretty much the same though, so I've long since gotten used to it. We can still go out in the evening for some grilled fish and drinks though. Bet you there'll be people singing sea shanties too. How does that sound?
Huh. That does sound pretty cool. Okay, Paimon's on board now. Let's go. Paimon wants to sing too.
And that was adorable. Alright. It is quite windy outside, even though it's warm. Oh! Hey. Okay. Oh. So much for me paying attention. Did not mean to go up on the table, but okay.
Coming back here really does feel like this place is starting to grow on Paimon. If you think about it, it would be kind of weird if the Spina's base at the court was some super luxurious building like the Palais Mermonia.
Totally. Right on the money, Paimon. Although, of course, with the continued growth of the Spina, Papa wanted Poisson to eventually grow into a metropolis, not unlike the court. He was a very ambitious man, who rarely looked behind or beneath him. For better or worse, that always made him stand out from the crowd.
And that's also why people hated him just as much as they loved him.
All right. Why don't you go wait for me at the restaurant? I'll go do some prep, and I'll get someone to tidy up your room while I'm at it. You can use the same room as last time. You still remember the room number, yeah?
Yep. Kinda hard to forget when there are only so many rooms here after all.
Oh, did I just hear someone taking a dig at Fleuve Cendre? I'll tell my guys to stuff your pillows full of actual seaweed right now.
Oh, Paimon, sorry! Please have mercy, Navia. If you do that, then Paimon really won't be able to sleep at all.
I was just kidding. Be on your way now.
Navi is a pretty cool character.
Just say what you mean. No problem's too big to solve.
Hello? Are you asleep yet? Oh no, not at all. I just figured that since we don't get to enjoy nights like these very often, we should try to enjoy it to the fullest. Wanna go fishing? I've got some rods and lures ready.
Oh, so that's the prep you were talking about. Sure, we'll come.
Hopefully I didn't wake you or anything. Don't worry, you don't have to do any actual fishing if you're too tired. Just think of it as keeping me company. How does that sound? Okay, let's go. To the fishing spot.
Are we gonna find a new fishing spot? Is that what this is? Huh? No? Let's see. Oh, the fishing spot is over there. Okay, let's see. Oh. Oh. Hang on, guys. Alright, we are back. Now, partner just came in and wanted to see, asked if I wanted anything from the store. Because he was going, so he thought he'd ask. And I did. I did want stuff from the store. That was really nice of him.
Fishing when you're using a fully automatic rod.
Mm-hmm. What's the problem? Lots of people in Poisson use rods like these.
But shouldn't fishing be all about, you know, attentively watching the float and then excitedly reeling in the catch when you finally hook something?
Well, that's one way to enjoy fishing. What do you think, Traveler? That's how I feel as well. To me, I'm happy as long as I catch some fish.
Honestly, Paimon's mainly shocked at how much energy you still have at this hour. Usually by this time of night, it's a struggle for Paimon to even keep her eyes open.
Huh. It might just be something that runs in my family.
That's a thing?
I'm sure you'd get even sleepier if I delved more deeply into it. Anyway, I was just thinking about how grateful I am to my mother, as well as the rest of the Spina. My father always had a lot of unrealistic expectations for me. But the more that he tried to get me to become like him, the less I wanted to listen to what he had to say. My mother never had those kinds of expectations, though. I've heard that she had only one wish for me, which was that I would have a happy and secure childhood. All the members of the Spina greatly respected her wish, so no matter what I did as a child, they were happy to humor me. Can you imagine? Whenever my father wanted to scold me for something I'd done, everyone would form up into 2 rows and just stand silently and listen to him rant. Maloose and Silver were always there too. No matter what Papa yelled, nobody else would say a word. Eventually, Papa must have recognized scolding me over trivial matters was pointless, because he eventually stopped getting on my case so often.
Paimon would have never guessed.
Yeah. Looking back on it now as an adult, I can hardly believe how patient and kind everyone was. When I was young, I often thought that I could do whatever I wanted, because there'd always be someone there to clean up after me. But once, I saw Maloose come back wounded. He wouldn't tell me how he'd been injured, but I could tell it had something to do with me. I learned then that there's always a cost to making a mistake. The more you care about those around you, the more you should care about doing the right thing to the best of your abilities. Because if you do falter, there'll inevitably come a time when you'll have to face the consequences. And when that time comes, those most precious to you really will throw themselves in front of you and pay the price for your mistakes. Sorry. I shouldn't have brought that up. I wasn't planning to talk about sad things tonight. Basically, I was just saying that the nurturing atmosphere of the Spina must have been my mother's legacy, rather than my father's. And if that's the only way that I can continue to feel her love, then I'd like to pass that warmth on.
Is that why you let those guys go today?
Mm-hmm. Although, maybe there's a part of not wanting to repeat the mistakes of the past. I want to be reasonable, at least. Hey, look! I think you've got something on the line!
But why isn't the rod automatically reeling it in?
Oh, there must be something wrong with how I installed the mechanism. It was my first time putting one of those rods together. We can't let it get away. Come on, you two. Let's catch it.
You want Paimon to help too?
Yeah. After some time, you finally managed to reel in the prize catch together. For the rest of the night, your rod continues to rack up catch after catch, while for some reason Navia can't seem to hook a single fish. Navia is quite upset about her bad luck, but it's only when you begin to head back that Paimon discovers the real reason to the to the mystery of why she didn't get a single bite.
You didn't attach a hook to your line?
Oh, that was the whole reason.
Stop wasting time! The boss ain't gonna wait all day. We'll go ahead with the operation tomorrow. Do with that information as you wish.
Well, your rod was missing a part too, so I guess that makes it fair.
Well, if we're just talking about the number of missing parts, sure. Oh, never mind. Paimon really can't keep her eyes open anymore.
All right, go to bed. I had a great time today. See you tomorrow. So how was last night? Did you get a good night's sleep?
Paimon dreamt that she danced with the sea stars, so you could say it was stellar. Get it?
Huh.
Damn. Just where did you get that from?
I didn't know you had such a great sense of humor.
She's annoyed.
See? This guy gets it!
And we're annoyed.
Anyway, let's head out. I'll arrange for a boat to take us back to Poisson. I'm sure Adele will be happy to see you two again.
Paimon hopes she'll really appreciate your gift.
I hope so too.
Oh. Alright. Got it. No. It's for the Serenity Teapot. Sweet! So we got this. Wonderful. Oh, that was so cute. Okay, let's see. We're gonna go to Poisson.
Adele, we're back! We brought you a gift from the court, too.
Whoa! Thank you so much, boss!
Don't call her boss, okay, Adele? Just Miss Navia would be fine.
Oh, it's all right. I don't mind. Besides the gift, I've also got another surprise. Guess who's here?
It's been a while!
Oh, it's you two. It has been a while indeed. Thank you so much for your help on Jacques' case. I've heard that you also helped save all of Fontaine. You're truly just like the great heroes of legend.
You're really amazing! And if Miss Navia's your friend, then she must be super amazing too! What's in this thing? Can I look?
Of course. Go ahead.
Oh, it's a Spina di Rosula uniform! Is it for me? But isn't it a bit big?
Well, it's a gift for future you. When you first told me that you were interested in joining the Spina, I was overjoyed. But it's the Spina's responsibility to protect everyone as well. Being a member means becoming involved in all kinds of dangerous situations. And since you're still young, I don't want your mom to have to worry about your safety. So I turned you down then by telling you that you'll have to wait until you're older. But this uniform is a promise that you can join us once you're old enough to wear it.
Partner's back, so I'll be right back. Alright, we are back. Now I got some food. Apparently I am not feeling too good today, so I will have to take a food break and see how I am after that. And if I'm not too good after the food, then yeah, it's gonna be a whole thing. We might as well just watch some videos, but I first want to try and get through this. And we can watch videos while I eat. And if I'm not feeling too good after I eat, then I'm just going to have to end stream a little early and then just pick it up tomorrow.
Oh, so that's it. Well, thank you so much, Miss Navia. I'll work hard and grow up as fast as I can.
Don't do that.
But you can't really grow up faster by working hard. You've got to be patient.
Everyone, I'm really grateful that you remembered my daughter's wish and took it seriously. Thanks to the protection of the Spina, even though her father's no longer with us, we've still felt plenty of warmth and security.
Oh, it's the least we could do. As long as you live in Poisson, even if you're not an official member, you're still part of the family.
Boss!
Huh? Is something up, Florent?
I've got something urgent to report. Romeu and his folks have gathered outside Poisson and even shipped in a huge pile of explosives.
Say what?
What? Explosives? What do they want?
It seems like they've been planning this for some time. We started investigating as soon as we received your letter yesterday. But Romeu and his folks must have gotten wind as well, because they abandoned their former posts before we could even check on them. We investigated their tracks and found out that they're after Poisson.
They have smartened up since we caught them red-handed at the court?
Seems like they've got no interest in sitting down and talking at all. We should have gone straight to the Maison Gardiennage.
Sorry, I underestimated the situation. Well, too late now, I suppose. Florent, where are they keeping their explosives?
On the hill to the east of Poisson, near the Clementine line.
They want to blow up the Clementine line?
Certainly sounds like it.
Romeu and his followers hate the Spina, and everything to do with Callus. And the Aquabus was the source of their contention. If they manage to blow up the Aquabus line, all that rubble will come crashing down the hill and straight into Poisson.
Are they insane? There's tons of innocent people in Poisson!
Yeah. If they've been planning this for ages, they're definitely not going to let this opportunity slip by. We have to issue an evacuation order to the townspeople, and get them as far away from the entrance as possible. That should save them from the worst of it.
Let's get everyone onto our ship. That should be the safest place.
My dear partner, can I leave the Clementine line to you? If the explosives do go off, not only would the people of Poisson be in danger, any aquabuses using the line would plummet to the ground. Let's stop their insanity first, then settle the score with them.
Leave it to us, Navia. Please stay safe, too.
Okay. You know what? I'm down for taking.
Let's go, you two. We've got to act fast. Miss Coralie, please take Adele to the ship.
Watch out, boss!
Seriously?
What do you think you're doing, Coulter?
I thought all the annoying little hindrances had left, but I still couldn't get rid of you.
You mean this was all a trick? So that you'd be left alone with me? Coulter, are you with Romeu too? Oh. I get it now. You knew about their plans all along. You only told us they were doing badly so that we'd drop our guard.
Not quite. Though I share their positions on some issues, I've never cared for his more radical ideas. And that's because, out of the entire Spina di Rosula, I only hate you. Only you, Navia.
You better stick close to me.
Romeu promised me that he would leave Poisson alone if I could just take you out. But it was like you were glued at the hip to that pesky traveler. You never gave me a chance to make my move. Romeu has lost his patience. I didn't have to be here today, you know. But I swore that I'd kill you, even if it meant being buried with you in the rubble.
Why?
Only someone as clueless about the past as you would ask such a foolish question. You never saw the heyday of Spina di Rosula, nor did you ever live through the golden age of Poisson. But I saw it all with my own eyes, and then I had to watch it all die, little by little. And it was all because of you, Navia. Clementine died because of you. Callus died because of you. Melusan Silver died because of you. And so many more dead. Everyone dead, all because of you.
So the shock and grief you showed us before, that was in Act 2?
Now you're catching on. I heard Melus was dead the moment I got out. Did you know? Down there in that blasted fortress, I spent a long time thinking about what happened and resolving to apologize to Melus as soon as I got out. Back then, because of that aqua bus, we had a huge fallout. I was convinced that all he cared about was loyalty, and that he had completely lost his capacity for critical thinking. The years passed by in a blur after that. I thought I had finally begun to understand him, and that he could help me relive the good old days again. But then he died, and it was because of you again, Navia. It's always because of you. I once loved the Spina and Poisson more than anyone else. But what is left now of either besides death and ruin? You've single-handedly destroyed everything that was beautiful. Everything I've ever loved.
Don't listen to him, boss! He's just spouting nonsense!
Have you ever considered that maybe the people around you don't actually care about you at all? Have you ever considered that maybe you only get respect because you're Callus and Clementine's child? That you've never done anything worthy? That you're just a big nothing? Have you ever considered that maybe people don't stay in Poisson because of you, but only because they have such beautiful memories of the past before you came?
Because if you do falter, there'll inevitably come a time when you'll have to face the consequences. And when that time comes, those most precious to you really will throw themselves in front of you and pay the price for your mistakes. Yeah, looking back on it now as an adult, I can hardly believe how patient and kind everyone was. But is that really why they support me? Is their kindness real?
Shut your mouth! I, for one, really like Miss Navia, and my mom loves her too. I don't know how to explain it, but I like her, and that's that.
I'm sure Mr. Melus would be extremely disappointed in you right now. You've somehow managed to pin the blame for every mistake and tragedy in our history on the boss herself.
Get out of the way, Florent. I don't want to hurt you.
You're gonna have to. Boss, there's no time for this. Stop hesitating and get out of here before you get buried.
Maybe you think you're being the realist by painting the history of the Spina and Poisson like this. But the love that I felt from everyone was just as real. I felt it. They've helped me get to where I am. And even now, I will continue to believe in that love. So let me show you just how much I love the Spina di Rosula.
Hello, Allie. Sorry, there was a cutscene.
Hey there! Coming at ya! Cha! Nah! Ha-ha! Ha! Nah! Ha-ha! Ha! Fire! Well, with rocks. Hiya! Hey! Ha!
Welcome in, Allie. How are you doing today?
Laurent, I'll leave the town to you. Summon the other members and help with the evacuation of the townspeople.
And thank you for the entrance pass.
If you find any of Coulter's accomplices, subdue them quickly. And don't give them the chance to harm any ordinary civilians.
I really do appreciate
I can't
that.
allow my partner to face the danger on the Clementine line alone.
Got it, boss. I'm on it. Are you okay, Navia?
I don't know, but I have to go.
Thank you for the entrance pass, Allie. I really do appreciate it, and welcome in. Hi, how are you today? Sorry, there's
Let's hurry up
cutscene.
there. We have to protect the Clementine line. If they're gonna blow up the waterway, they must have planted the explosives next to the support pillars.
Mm-hmm. Think.
Propagate!
Okay, you know what?
Let's dance.
Oh, I am not playing nice today.
Oh, hi. Germinate! Ink! I'll protect us.
They certainly brought a lot of muscle. They're really slowing us down. But if we're meeting resistance, we must be heading in the right direction. These must be the explosives, right? And this is the control mechanism. How can we disable it? Oh, Paimon's too scared to touch any of this stuff. Huh? There's a strangely shaped hole here. What is it for? Oh, that certainly sounds possible. Maybe one of the people we just beat up has the key. Okay, you take this side, Paimon will take the other. Let's see what we can find. Let me turn this guy over. Ugh, he's super heavy. Oh, you found it! That's amazing!
Oh, come on. Let me move.
That should do it, right? Navi and Florent should be able to relax now. Oh, you're right. They could have set explosives elsewhere too. Let's go.
Yeah, they wouldn't just set up in one place. No.
They're gonna bury Pustel!
Great work, partner. Just leave the rest to me.
Watch out, Navia! You can't block them all!
Block. I'm doing this the Spina way.
Oh my. Okay, that was freaking awesome. Having been alerted, members of the Maison Gardiennage arrived at the scene in short time. Okay. They arrested the guys. Okay, cool.
I heard from Thierry that even they're your enemies now. They were once a part of Spina di Rosula. Do you plan to settle this privately with them?
I have nothing more to say to them. Regardless of whether their hatred and anger towards me or the Spina was justified, anyone who's willing to endanger innocent civilians is no longer sane enough to even be worth trying to talk to. Please prosecute them in accordance to the law. Spina di Rosula will not raise any objections.
Sounds good. We're very appreciative of your help. Without it, the consequences would have been far worse. All right, this operation is a wrap. Take him away.
We
Yeah. Luckily, we were just in time. It's probably because I expended too much elemental energy at once. I'll be fine. Don't worry about me.
But you usually glow up whenever other people compliment you. Paimon's not used to seeing you like this.
Boss, we managed to catch all the infiltrators in the town. The Maison Gardiennage is taking them away as well. Seems like Romeu really went all in on this mission. If he sent literally everyone he had, though, that also means we've caught them all too. We won't have to worry about them from now on.
Got it. That's good at least. Coulter, I can understand how you feel. The things that we lost, they're forever beyond our grasp now. And that makes them appear even more precious. I am not callous, and I will also never become him. The Spina and the Poisson that you loved are both gone, but I will not change how I feel about our future. I still believe that this is a great opportunity to start anew. I will spend more of what the Spina earns on the betterment of Poisson. What's more, I'd also like to propose some changes to the Aquabus routes, so that one day, the people of Poisson will enjoy the boons it brings as well.
I know what you're trying to say. Mr. Callus would never have said anything like that. There are too many things in life that are just beyond our control. In that, we are the same.
Henceforth, you are no longer a member of Spina di Rosula, but once you're discharged from the fortress again, you're welcome to pay another visit to Poisson.
Thank you, Navia.
She's so kind-hearted.
As I thought. Boss really is a kind and gentle person.
She is also, I must say, a truly unlucky person. Thank you for protecting the Clementine line. I was actually really scared, you know. I mean, even the Callus line won't be getting rebuilt anytime soon. If I'd lost the Clementine line too, I wouldn't know how to live with myself. A name is a way to etch a memory onto the world. Losing the line that bears her name, that I can see every day, would be like losing my mother all over again. Seeing it still standing there, tall and proud, it makes me really happy.
What happened while we were gone? Honestly, you look more upset than tired or anything.
Just give her some time.
Thank you so much. Can you give me a hand? I really don't have much strength left. Traveler, I want to ask you something. And please, tell me the truth. Do you really see me as your partner?
Of course.
That's good then. Hearing that, it brings me more relief than I can say.
She's so sweet.
How do you feel, Navia? Any better after taking a break?
I feel quite a bit better. But I should probably still rest for a few more days. Sorry, partner. I said some weird things earlier. Feel free to just ignore me. I used to think that I'd never doubt myself. But you could say I've discovered that I'm not as strong as I thought I was. Coulter mentioned my parents, as well as Malus and Silver. It's all thanks to them that I've made it this far in life. Do you think they ever regretted the choices they made? Has my existence made this world a better place?
Don't think like that, Navia. You've already done more than enough. No matter what others think, we'll always support you to the end of the world.
Well, since it's ended up like this, I suppose it's time for me to make a confession as well. There's something that I've been keeping from you as well, boss. Please, follow me. Everything is already prepared.
Florent, I hope you can understand that I can't deal with any more shocking revelations right now.
Don't worry. This surprise will be a pleasant one.
Let's go check it out.
Why is everyone gathered here? And what's this?
This was supposed to be a gift to you from everyone in the town. We were originally planning to show it to you once it was finished, but special times call for special measures. I've never seen you look so defeated before, so I've decided to show you the designs before the final product was done.
Do I really look that bad?
Well, if you're ready, I'll unveil the present.
This is Papa, Mother, and me.
We designed the look for Miss Clementine based on old camera records, as well as personal recollections from members of the Spina.
Wow! This is the statue you mentioned before?
It is indeed. To be honest, we decided on the design a long time ago, and gave the sculptor permission to begin working. We only asked Boss to decide on a design so she wouldn't realize we had already started.
How could we only have statues of Mr. Callus and Mrs. Clementine?
Even though Boss is still young, we've all seen the work she's put in regarding the whole synth business and the rebuilding of Poisson.
We wanted to commemorate her contributions with a statue as well.
I don't know what Spina di Rosula was like in the past, but I know it's a great organization now.
With Navia around, we're not worried about this place's future.
We are gathered here today to tell our boss that we support you and believe in you wholeheartedly. I believe everyone is here for you, not the glory days.
That's what we believe as well.
I will also always believe bond.
Thank you so much, everyone. Then I'll be brave and just accept everyone's support for what it is. This really is quite the surprise. I never thought that I'd have the chance to stand next to my mother. Not even in my wildest dreams.
That was fucking beautiful. $60 Prima Gems for a story quest, absolutely. That was wonderful. I think we should take Florence this time. But I do believe it is some time for some wonderful videos. So while we are... So I'm gonna actually eat while we watch videos. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get food. So just start eating. Be right back. I'm just... Not bad. I'm gonna put the headphones on properly on the chair. That's on me. Okay. So let's go ahead and find a video with Mr. Falling. We already saw the documentary thing that they're going to be making, which is, by the way, awesome. And, well, I kind of just want to look at his older videos just because. I do believe he makes, like, the videos that he has made in the past are also really cool. So he started, what, 3 years ago? 4 years ago. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's start at his first video. Yeah? Let's give it a chance. All right? Go.
Where is it? I heard the door open. I heard the bells. I heard the pot. I heard the footsteps. I saw the door open. I see the thing walk in. I watched it walk down the aisle. I watched it bend over. It's in the room. Where is it? And this is night 1. There's 2 more nights of this, and it gets worse. When I was 16 years old, I was an avid snowboarder. Starting from the time I was like 12 years old, I used to always go snowboarding with the same 2 guys, my 2 very close friends, Wolf and Nick. Every winter, me, Nick, and Wolf would go up to Nick's family's cabin that was up in the White Mountains in New Hampshire. We just snowboard, and it was great. Every time we went up to this cabin in New Hampshire, it would be me, Wolf, Nick, and then Nick's mom and dad. Unexpectedly, leading into my 16-year-old winter, Nick's father passed away. We were actually planning on going on a trip to the mountains that winter. And I remember speaking to Wolf and being like, I don't know if it's even appropriate to ask about this trip, because we knew that Nick was very close to his father, and not to mention, like, every time we went on this particular, trip up to the mountains, Nick's dad was always with us, and it just seemed like, how can we possibly now go on this snowboarding trip? Not only is it a low priority item, but just the dynamic is all different now. Nick called us and was like, hey, so we are still going to do the snowboarding trip to the cabin in New Hampshire. And so, Wolf and I, we spoke, and we're like, let's just go with it. I mean, maybe it's like, maybe they want to do something that is maybe is a fond memory of their father, their husband. And so we agreed to go. So he passes away maybe a few months before we end up going up to the mountains. And so the grief was still definitely there, but also just, again, that the dynamic was it was like the elephant in the room, right? Like, as we're driving up, we drove in the same car, me, Wolf, Nick, and then Nick's mom was driving. It was so apparent that Nick's dad was missing, because he was always in the car with us when we drove up. Anyhow, so we make the trip up to New Hampshire, and we're planning to be up there for 3 days. So the house itself wasn't really a cabin, it was a house, it was a small house. It was on a mountain, and if you think about the way a mountain works, it's a slope. And so in order to have a house level on a mountain, a portion of it needs to be on stilts, right? The portion that's kind of hanging off the mountain. And then the other part of the house is kind of like embedded in the mountain itself. And when you drive up to the house, there's a wraparound porch that goes around the house. The majority of it is on the stilted section of the house, right? So if you're on the wraparound porch, your footsteps are going to echo. Like, you can hear those footsteps because you're above the ground. When you step into the house, you open a door. It actually opens inwardly. There were sleigh bells that were on the door, on the inside of the door. So anytime you open the door, you hear those sleigh bells ringing. And as soon as you step foot into the house, if you took one step into the house, right? So you step on the wraparound porch, you open the door, sleigh bells ring. When you step into the house, your right foot would be in the kitchen. You'd be standing on linoleum. And your left foot would be on shag carpet, which is like the dining room. And that's the way the house is laid out. As soon as you walk in, kitchen on your right, dining room on your left. And if you keep walking, you're going to enter into this living room. And if you turned around in the living room and looked up, you would see a lofted second floor. If you walk into the house, again, your right foot's in the kitchen, your left foot's in the dining room, and you walked as if you were going into that living space, but stopped about halfway across the house, you could look to your right and there'd be one hallway. There's only one hallway. It's a small house. And this hallway is bringing you, call it, into the mountain. If you think about, again, the layout of the house, you have a portion of the house that's sitting in the mountain and a portion of the house that's on stilts. Well, this hallway leads into the section of the house that's in the mountain. And if you go down this hallway and it turns left, it's a short little hallway, it brings you to one room. And that room is where me, Nick, and Wolf would stay every time we went snowboarding at this mountain. That room, if you go into it, it's a corner-fed room. You open the door, and immediately to your right is a bunk bed. I would always sleep on the bottom bunk, and Wolf would sleep on the top bunk. Our feet would be closest to the door. In the center of the room, with the remaining space, because this is not a big room, there was like a queen-size bed. It was like a slightly larger bed that sat basically in all of the free space that was left over in the room. It was sitting right in the middle of the room, and that's where Nick would sleep. So basically the room was completely packed with 3 places to sleep and really not much else. There was a very small space between the queen-size bed and the bunk bed, so you could walk between those two, but that was about it. So that layout's very important, and you'll see why. We snowboard for the day, we come back to the cabin, and me, Nick, and Wolf decide we're gonna crash super early and get up early and have a full day of riding ahead of us, because we're avid snowboarders. So we go to our room, the one that's kind of, you go down that hallway and you get to the room I just described. We planned on going to bed early, but we were excited, and so we stayed up gaming for a bit. And then maybe around like 11 or 12 o'clock at night, Nick, who again is in the queen size bed, and Wolf was in the top bunk, they ultimately fall asleep. I was still awake, and what struck me, and it always struck me whenever I slept in this room, is when you turn off all the electronics and you're just laying in bed in this house, in particular this room, it is pitch black. There's no windows. You're in the segment of the house that's, in the mountain. It is truly pitch black. Not to mention the house itself, there weren't really any neighbors nearby, because this house, Nick's family had purchased it a while ago when this used to be an active ski resort, the mountain itself that it was on. But it wasn't anymore, and most people that were living there had left and sold their property. But a few people had decided to stay, and so Nick's family was one of them. So they had this cabin on an abandoned ski resort. There was virtually no streetlights, there's virtually no neighbors, and so at night, when you're laying in this room, like I was this night, you're really struck by just how dark and quiet it is. I mean, basically no white noise, silence and pitch black. And so I'm laying there, and one other detail that needs to be brought up before we get into what actually happens. So Nick had 2 much older brothers. They were in their 30s, and we're 16 years old. And we were expecting one of them, we didn't know which, to swing by the house at some point over the next few days. That's what Nick's mom had said. Nick had kind of reiterated it. And I think that Wolf and I understood that, now that Nick's father was gone, that they were just kind of trying to find a way to fill the void that was left from the father passing. And so we were expecting over the course of that weekend for someone, one of the 2 brothers, to come to this house and stay with us for a night or whatever it was. I had never met either of these 2 brothers. I knew they existed, but I had never met them before. But somewhere in the back of my mind, I know that probably one of them is going to show up at some point, maybe tonight, maybe tomorrow, whenever it is. Man, it's giving me goosebumps just thinking about this. So that night, as I'm laying in bed, I'm thinking about how dark and quiet it is. I remember the only light in the room was the digital clock, the little red digital clock, and it was like a beacon in the light, and that doesn't emit much light, but when it's pure darkness, it does. And I just could not fall asleep. I remember I got to a place where I started counting how many hours of sleep I might get if I fell asleep right then and there, which is never a good sign. That means you're not close to sleeping. If you're like, okay, if I fell asleep now, I'll get 3 hours and 22 minutes of sleep, right? Like that's where I was at mentally. At some point, I think it was around 3 in the morning, I remember looking at the clock and thinking, wow, it's gotten so late and I'm still awake. I hear footsteps on the wraparound porch. In a situation where, you know, as I'm telling it, you're gonna think, how did you not raise, you know, a red flag immediately? In real time, in real life, your brain goes to great measures to convince you that everything is okay. It really takes an enormous amount of anomalies to stack up for your brain to say something's wrong. And so that's what happened in this first night. I hear footsteps on the wraparound porch, and I immediately assume, even though we're talking, it's like 3 in the morning, I just assume that it's got to be one of Nick's brothers arriving to be a part of this weekend getaway. So I really actually didn't think anything of it. I actually just thought, well, you know, when he comes in the house, if he happens to come in here to check on us, I'll just pretend to be asleep in case, you know, he were to see that I was awake. I don't want to have a conversation with him. Number one, it's 3 in the morning. Number two, I don't know the guy. I'm just going to pretend to be asleep. So that's all I'm thinking about. Not worried, not scared, not anything. Footsteps on the wraparound porch, and then the door opens, and I can hear the sleigh bells that are on the door itself. I can hear those chime as the door opens. Again, no part of me is concerned about this. I'm thinking it's a little bit weird that they're arriving at 3 in the morning, but we knew that his brothers had these weird work schedules where they might show up in the middle of the night. So it was just, it was whatever it was. Sleigh bells ring, and then I hear what sounds like a pot, like a kitchen pot, fall and hit the linoleum floor in the kitchen. And I remember just the sound stood out to me. It just seemed like this person's kind of making a bit of a commotion in the middle of the night here. And the door didn't shut. And I noticed that. I figured they were maybe bringing their stuff in, right? They're offloading some stuff. And they're leaving the door open. Oh, this is, just thinking about this, it's really making me feel uncomfortable. So I hear the footsteps on the wraparound porch, the door opens, I can hear the sleigh bells, a pot falls and it hits the linoleum floor. The footsteps that I could hear on the wraparound porch, because it's on stilts, right? Like the porch is hovering over the ground. You can hear those footsteps. Well, when these footsteps continued into the house, where you're on a concrete slab and there should be no sound, like I shouldn't hear echoing footsteps, it sounded like it was on the wraparound porch still, but the noise was getting closer to me. So it was like the footsteps sounded totally natural out on the wraparound porch, but once they were in the house, it didn't really make any sense that I could hear them as if the footsteps were standing on something that was suspended off the ground. But it wasn't. You're in the house on a concrete slab. And so I hear these footsteps. The door hasn't shut. The front door is wide open. We're in the middle of winter here. We're in the middle of nowhere too. And I'm thinking about that, but I'm still thinking it's got to be Nick's brother, one of Nick's brothers. The footsteps continue through the house. And they stop about halfway through the house. If you open that door and walk halfway through the house. And then the footsteps began to walk down the hallway towards our room. So they come down the hall. And they get right outside the door, which is shut. The door to our room is shut. And I'm sitting there. Again, my feet are closest to the door. It's pitch black in the room, minus the, digital clock. And I'm thinking, why didn't they shut the front door? Of all the weird things that have happened, the fact that I'm hearing footsteps as if they're on the wraparound porch, but they're getting louder and moving through the house, the thing that really just made the hair on the back of my neck stand up was, why didn't they shut the front door? That just seems like such a bad idea. There's animals out there. There's a host of things out there. Like, why aren't you shut? And not to mention, it's freezing outside. There's a space between the bunk bed, the bottom bunk that I'm on, and the top bunk. There's a space that I can see clear as day. Whoever walks in the room, I'm gonna see them when they walk past the foot of the bed. But because of the top bunk, my view is actually obscured, and I wouldn't be able to make out someone's face, for example. I could really only see their like middle section. And so when the door opens and this shadow figure walks into the room, which by the way, I'm in a pitch black room, and I clearly make out a black silhouette. This thing walks into the room, and it's obscured, so I wouldn't have been able to see its head or upper body anyways, but its hips are so high that I can't even really see those. Those are at the level that I would expect someone's upper body or head to be at. Meaning this figure that's walked in, its legs are extremely long. And so if it was proportionally the size of a human, you're talking about maybe a 10-foot tall person, but we're in a space that is not a 10-foot high ceiling. And so this thing walks in, and as soon as I see it, and I make out that black silhouette, even though it's pitch black in the room, I clearly see the silhouette that is unnaturally tall, combined with all the things that I've just thought about, mainly the door's still open. They've made kind of a commotion. I can hear these weird footsteps. I instantly was frozen with terror. Frozen, petrified. I'm like, it's not Nick's brother. And even if we're not talking about paranormal here, this is such a bad situation. Even if that's just some dude who's come into the house, that's a really bad situation. So no matter what, this is a really bad situation, but what I'm looking at doesn't make sense. It's an unnaturally tall person. They've left the door open, and I hear their footsteps all over the house, and it walks in past the foot of the bed. And I'm laying there, and I can't see higher than its waist because it's obscured by the top bunk. And this thing makes this like facing movement, like a military facing movement, and begins to walk down the aisle between the queen size bed in the middle of the room and the bunk bed where I am. And it's walking down right next to me, and I'm literally sitting there unable to move. And I remember thinking, I can't do anything. I'm truly frozen with terror. And all I remember thinking is, whatever happens, just don't bend down and look at me. That will ruin my life. If this thing so much as looks at me, that's it, I'm done. So it walks down the aisle, it's right next to me. I'm literally frozen. And it does another quick movement, but it's facing away from me now. Facing towards Nick in the center of the room. And it bows onto and then down through Nick's bed and disappears. In a movie, as soon as the ghost disappears into the floor, whoever's hiding would make a run for it. In real life, there's no such thing as ghosts. There's no such thing as people disappearing into the ground. So I'm expecting this thing to just get back up again. I couldn't understand that it was, what, did it disappear into the bed? That's not possible. Where is it? I heard the door open. I heard the bells. I heard the pot. I heard the footsteps. I saw the door open. I see the thing walk in. I watched it walk down the aisle. I watched it bend over. It's in the room. Where is it? And for hours, all night, I laid there absolutely petrified, expecting this thing to come back up and just look at me. That was my biggest fear, is whatever this thing was, I did not want it to look at me. So that was the worst. I'm laying there frozen. I can only move my eyes all night. Finally, I hear Nick's mom out in the living room making coffee. This was probably like 5, 6 in the morning. And it was like the first time that I'm like, okay, I'm safe now. Even if it's in the room, I'm safe to just go because I can hear someone out there. And I can hear her speaking. I knew it was her. And so I go right out there. And now you got to understand that even though this was a horrible situation that I still can't really explain, I know that she has just lost her husband. And so the idea of approaching this subject, which effectively is going to turn into ghosts, right? I've never had a paranormal experience before this. I've never had a paranormal experience since, right? Like I'm more or less a skeptic, and I'm going to go out there and I'm going to start talking about ghosts. to the woman who's recently bereaved, it just felt really inappropriate. And so I was really struggling with how I wanted to communicate what happened. And so I went to the table, she got me a cup of coffee, and and we know each other well, you know, she knows me well, and she definitely picked up that something was wrong, but didn't really ask anything yet. She was just kind of puzzling, like kind of sizing me up a little bit. And the only thing I could think to do was to just ask, you know, hey, did either of your two sons, you know, Nick's older two brothers, did they stop by at any point last night? Did they stop by? And she's like, no. And I'm sitting there like, okay. And I'm just like, I must have had a reaction that was obvious to her. And she just goes, I heard my husband here last night too. And, you know, that made it a lot worse. Because on the one hand, you have a situation where she is confirming something that part of me hopes is a bad dream. Number two, she's now saying it's her husband. And so I intuitively assumed that she has somehow figured out what I'm stressed about that probably isn't real. And because she's grieving, she's created a story where her husband is now in the house, you know, looking over us. I really believed that she didn't hear anything, that she just somehow understood that I had this weird feeling and she'd turned it into oh, my husband's in the house. And I just couldn't ask any more questions at that point. I felt like I had set her up for this awkward exchange. I felt really bad that like that was the discussion we were having. I also thought like, if that's true, I don't want to have this conversation. Like I really was just dumbfounded on what to do in this situation. And this is night one. There's 2 more nights of this, and it gets worse. So Nick and Wolf eventually come out of the bedroom and they come to the dining room. And the same way I felt reserved talking to Nick's mom about what happened, I had the same feelings about Nick because it was his father. And I also just felt like that would be inappropriate. But Wolf, he's not a family member and he's my buddy. And I kind of pulled him aside and I kind of told him what was going on as best as I could. But I kept it like kind of generic. I was like, you know, I could have sworn I heard someone in the house last night. Like I could have sworn. And he's like, yeah, you know, you're probably dreaming. You know, like that's what this is. And I was like, no, like I wasn't, but I can't make sense of it. And I was like, can you just do me a favor? And at this point, Nick actually overheard the conversation, and I very much kind of cut ties with what I was talking about. I was like, yeah, I just thought I heard something last night. It's just me freaking myself out. And I was like, can you guys tonight, when we get back from snowboarding, can I fall asleep ahead of you? That way I'm asleep, you guys can just fall asleep after I do, and then I'll sleep through the night, no big deal. And they're like, all right, yeah, weirdo, whatever. So I'm like, all right, my big plan is I'm just gonna go to bed really, really early. Because I didn't sleep the night before, so I'm thinking, oh, I'll fall asleep right away. So we go out, we snowboard for the day, my mind is off of what happened, and frankly, I'm starting to convince myself that had to have been, you know, sleep paralysis. Even though I'd never had that before, I was Googling some stuff, maybe it was sleep paralysis, maybe it was just like a really intense dream. You know, I would just like, there has to be something. Like this is too weird, it has to be something explainable. Turns out it wasn't. We get back from snowboarding, and I am immediately going to bed. Pretty much immediately. It was like maybe 6 o'clock. I was like, I'm going to bed. And I get in bed, and all I'm thinking about is what happened the night before, and I can't fall asleep. Eventually, Nick and Wolf, they come in the room, and they're trying their best to stay awake so that I can fall asleep, but it's getting later and later, and I can't fall asleep. And now I'm back to that, like, okay, if I fall asleep now, I get 6 hours of sleep. And they finally just said, hey man, I'm tired, I'm going to bed. So they both fall asleep, and I'm awake. And I was so upset with myself. Like, you screwed yourself. Why didn't you just fall asleep, you dummy? And I remember the only thing that I did that really made this real, looking back at it, is I put a knife, like a kitchen knife or something, in the springs above me. So I'm in the bottom bunk, like basically right under the top bunk. I put a knife in there. And I'm laying in bed and I'm constantly looking over at the digital clock. And it was probably around 3 a.m. It was late enough that it was like, okay, this is about the time that happened last night. And my heart just sunk when I heard those footsteps on the wraparound porch again. They sounded the same as they did the night before. I was like, that has to be one of Nick's brothers. But the door opens, I hear the sleigh bells, I hear the frickin' pot fall on the ground. It was like deja vu. The exact same thing is happening. And these footsteps start walking through the house. And again, referencing how movies would portray this, you know, the person who's me in the movie is like, okay, I'm gonna get this knife and I'm gonna position myself over here because I know what's gonna happen and I'm gonna protect myself. In real life, I'm like, this thing's gonna be in my room, potentially. It happened last night. It's apparently happening again. Please, for the love of God, don't bow into me the way it bowed into the floor the night before. Don't look at me. It will ruin my life if some entity just engages with me, just looks at me. That will ruin my life. This thing walks down the hall, and I hear those footsteps coming down the hall. And just pretend for a second, forget the paranormal aspect. Pretend it's the middle of the night in the middle of nowhere, and a stranger is walking around your house. That alone is horrifying. The footsteps come right outside the door, and I'm looking at the knife that's right underneath the bed. And I'm petrified. I cannot move. I'm drenched in sweat. Just from the few seconds that it's taken this thing to go from the door to the front of my bedroom. Because I know what's happening again. It's happening again. I'm not crazy. It's just happening again. What the F is this? And I'm petrified. I can't reach. I'm so worried about making any noise that would alert this thing that I'm here. That I can only move my eyes. And I remember even thinking that I shouldn't move my eyes too quickly because it might hear that. Like, this is a primal level of fear. The door opens, it walks into the room, goes right past the foot of my bed, and I'm, again, petrified. And it walks down, after making its facing movement, it walks down the aisle between me and Nick. And I remember what happened the night before, where it folded into Nick and disappeared, and I'm just thinking to myself, please don't turn and bow into me. Please, whatever happens, just don't do that. So it turns away from me and does the same thing it did the night before, folds onto Nick and disappears into the ground. But again, even though in the movies, this would be the same thing happening, you know, night 2, it's the same routine. It'd be like, oh, the ghost is in the floor now. I can go alert the authorities because now it's safe. In real life, I'm like, where did it go? I know this happened last night, but it still doesn't make any sense. It's in the room. It has to be. This is a real thing. It came in the room. It's somewhere. Is it under my bed? Where is it? All night. All night. I lay there. This is the second night that I've not slept. When I heard Nick's mom out in the other room, it was like such a relief. Because I didn't give a crap at this point about being polite. I wasn't gonna like try to, you know, distance myself from the conversation around ghosts. I was gonna go out there and be like, what's wrong with this house? And so I hear her and I go right out to the living room and I tell her everything in as acute detail as I possibly can. And as I'm telling her this, her reaction didn't line up. Her reaction was not surprise, terror, confusion. It was empathy. She felt bad for me. It was sympathy. You don't understand. Like, I'm listening, but you just don't understand what's happening. And I'm telling her all the, I mean, every detail I can possibly muster. And at the end of it, or towards the end, she just kind of stops me. She's like, John, I told you yesterday, and again, I heard it last night. That's just my husband. I heard him last night too. You got nothing to worry about. And I was like, no. No. That cannot be, that cannot be what it is. And she was like, I heard him open the door. I heard the pot fall. I heard him walk through the house. I'm assuming he went into Nick's room again with you guys. And I'm like, what is happening? So totally now just beside myself. I remember I was crying actually, like during this conversation, I'm just crying. Not even like tears of sadness as much as just like, what's happening? Like I needed my mom. Like I felt so helpless. And no offense to Nick's mom, but I just felt like I was with a lunatic. How? But like at the same time, she's recalling the exact same things as me. How do I put that together? I remember thinking I need to leave. I need to get out of here. I can't be here anymore. But then I thought about like, how am I going to make this happen? Nick's mom and Wolf and Nick, they're not leaving today. And it was pretty clear that Nick's mom liked the fact that she, heard her husband walking around the cabin. She's not trying to leave. There's one more night that we're here, and I would have to tell my parents to drive, my mom or my dad, to drive to New Hampshire and come get me because I'm seeing ghosts. Like, this was a trip that I loved. I looked forward to this trip every year. It wouldn't have made any sense, and they would have been like, what's wrong with you? And I honestly was not prepared to have those conversations with my mom and dad. I was not prepared to be like, let me tell you about the ghost I saw over the past 2 days. And so I was just kind of resigned and decided to stay. In retrospect, I think I should have called my parents and been like, that's what parents are for. Like, get the hell up here. It doesn't matter why. Come get me. But it was such a confusing moment that I had no blueprint for how to handle. So I just stayed. Nick and Wolf finally get up. And I remember I made that decision as I'm sitting there thinking about what's happening, is Nick's mom is reassuring me, about her husband being in the house. And I make the decision that I'm going to stay. Nick and Wolf come out of the room, and they come over, and Wolf pretty much immediately looks at me to get a gauge on what happened. And you can see it all over my face. I've been crying. And I told them what happened. And, Nick was always kind of a stoic, and he was just unaffected, Wolf, on the other hand, was more inclined to, at a minimum, believe something was happening. He didn't know if it was a ghost or not, but he certainly understood that something's going on. And the fact that Nick's mom, as I'm explaining to Nick and Wolf what's going on, she was like reinforcing my argument. Yeah, I heard him too. I heard the door open. Yeah, I was upstairs. I heard him walk through the house. And Wolf's like, what's going on? And Nick is like, he didn't want to hear it, kind of. It probably was uncomfortable, but it's about his father, or ultimately talking about his father. Before we went out snowboarding for the day, because Nick's mom would drive us and drop us off, she brought us to a local store, and we bought a coffee table because they've been looking to replace the one that was in their house. Basically, when you walk into the house, instead of turning down the hallway towards our room, if you just keep walking into the lofted area, at the foot of the stairs was a coffee table where they kept a landline phone because you're in the middle of nowhere and you got to have some way to call, and they put it right at the foot of the stairs in this little coffee table. But it had broken, or it was old, or whatever. I know they wanted a new one for a long time. We went out and got it. Me, Nick, and Wolf, we snowboard. We come back, we help offload the coffee table into the house. We put it at the foot of the stairs. And that night we go to bed. I was ruthless in trying to keep Wolf and Nick awake. I mean, I wasn't even trying to make jokes out of it. I was like straight up kicking the bunk, like kicking Wolf's bunk, like literally shaking Nick. I was doing everything in my power to keep them awake because I couldn't sleep. I'm terrified. It was like the opposite of how excited you get before Christmas and you can't sleep. It was like the opposite of those feelings, but you still can't sleep. It was like, this is the worst night of my life. And also, the nail in the coffin, if you will, is during the day that day, we found out that neither of Nick's two brothers were going to be making the trip. They weren't going to make it. So no one's going to be at the house. No one should be at the house except for us. And so that night I'm laying there, and after all my attempts to keep Nick and Wolf awake, they fall asleep. Everyone's asleep. The house is pitch black. It's silent. And around 2, 3 in the morning, I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it. I hear those footsteps on the wraparound porch. The door opens and I hear the sleigh bells ringing on the door. A pot falls on the ground and the footsteps walk into the house. And this is the 3rd time that this has happened. So in a way, this was the first time that I was expecting something to happen. For it to walk down the hall, to come in the room, to come next to me, fold into Nick, and then that's it. This was the first time I had a little bit of, call it security, that something was going to happen, and I understood what was going to happen. I didn't understand it, but I expected something to happen. But this was not the case this night. It walked into the house. Everything was the same. It walked into the house, but instead of going down the hallway towards our room, it kept walking into the lofted area. And the lofted area, from where I was laying, my foot's at the door, my head's back here, the wall straight, if I sat up in bed and looked straight, the wall right there led into the area where this thing was. So I'm basically, if there wasn't a wall, I'd be looking dead at this thing. And I'm waiting for it to walk through the wall. As crazy as that sounds, I'm just anticipating something coming through the wall. After a long pause of it being in that lofted area, I hear it go up the steps. Listening to the creak of the steps as it goes up the steps, it makes my skin crawl. It's making me emotional thinking about how terrifying that was. It walks up the stairs, and now it's above me. And if the past 2 nights are any example, this thing has sunk into the ground 2 nights in a row and disappeared. And so now my fear is it's going to literally come through the ceiling, through the bunk, onto me. The sound stopped when it was upstairs. Got upstairs, and that's where Nick's mom slept. She was upstairs. So I laid in bed, petrified once again. I got my stupid knife sitting in the underside of the bed above me. And hours and hours of waiting for my literal worst nightmare to come true as some entity comes through the ceiling and goes into me. Or even just if it was onto Nick, if it came through the ceiling and if out of my peripheries I'm watching this beast come through the ceiling and float down and into Nick. It just, these thoughts in my head, they didn't make any sense. They were terrifying, but they were happening. I laid in bed and I couldn't fall asleep. I was now coming up on 3 days without sleep. So at some point that night, I did fall asleep, probably just out of sheer exhaustion. At some point in the morning, early morning, now probably 5 in the morning, I wake up again and I can hear Nick's mom. It didn't sound like she was making coffee. It sounded like something was wrong. I couldn't place it, but it just sounded like she was acting emotional somehow. I couldn't tell if she was crying or not. But now it's the morning, it's my last day, I'm leaving today, I'm up, I'm out. And as soon as I walk out of the hallway and I look to the left into the dining room where I expect to see Nick's mom, and she's not there. And she's actually over at the foot of the stairs in the lofted kind of living room area next to this new coffee table we had just put in. And she's standing over this coffee table at the foot of the stairs where the entity had been the night before, the one deviation from the other 2 nights. And she's crying. Come here. She points to the coffee table. And she's down on her knees looking at the table. And now I can tell she's probably crying tears of joy. Because scratched into the coffee table were the words, "I love you." I was like, I'm done. That ended my friendships with certainly Nick. Wolf to a lesser degree, but I stopped snowboarding. I didn't go back to that cabin, even though I know Wolf did the next year. The theories about what happened, Nick's mom, it's possible she could have created a narrative, made it about her husband, and then she could have just as easily scratched that into the table. The "I love you," that could have been her. It's also possible that she had sleep paralysis and I had sleep paralysis, and somehow we synchronized and had the same vision and she scratched in the table. Or, to be honest, what I believe, that was a ghost. And that it interacted with the physical world. And it did walk around the house. It did carve "I love you" into that table. And, you know, that's the only time in my entire life that I've had anything happen like that. I don't have any other paranormal stories before or after. That's it. I hope you enjoyed that. I'm going to continue to do long versions of my ghost stories and scary stories that I find that I've been posting on TikTok. I'm going to do long versions of those on this.
Okay, that was actually pretty scary. I feel a little better after eating. So, but I'm thinking of just doing a short stream today. Or at least I'll take a few minute break and just walk outside and, you know, get some fresh air in between. Just to, like, yeah. Just make sure that I'm not feeling too oh, I'm in a lot of pain. So I need to, like, make sure that, you know, everything is in working order. There's nothing to do with you guys. It's because of the amusement park. So the 80 meter drop in one of those rides, it's like 80 meters tall, and it goes like 125 kilometers an hour. Going to that twice was probably a mistake because my shoulders hurt, and so do my fucking knees. Everything hurts. Because my instinct on the second one was literally to not fall. So there was that. But otherwise I'm fine. It's just I'm in a little bit of pain. Yeah, so the second time the only thing I tried to do was to pretty much grab onto something to not fall. I'm afraid of heights. So this was kind of like a exposure therapy for me. I'm not as afraid of heights after going see that, but after seeing that 80 meters, I can probably go up to 60 meters without feeling, you know, dizzy or passing out. So, progress. Apparently next step is bungee jumping, so I'm like, you're kidding, right? I looked at my buddy, you're joking, right? He's like, it might be the next step, so, we can talk about it. What's my answer? Damn. Outside. If the spider's outside, I leave it alone. On the glass. There's that. Ugh. Oh my goodness. Alright. So, I'm gonna clean up. I will be right back. I'm gonna also just, you know, get some fresh air. Stretch. Some stretches. Just give me about 5 minutes, alright? All right, you're back. Now, what to play? Question. What shenanigans to get into? So that is the question. Hero. Instantly. I'm just thinking like what to play at the moment. Someone did mention Stardew earlier this morning. Like, I was just talking to someone. So they mentioned Stardew, but I don't think I want to do that right now. I think I want to play. Wait, what? Why? Oh. Oh, okay. Oh, I need to edit this. That's what I need to do. I forgot. Not ham. Hmm. Need to do something. Apparently Final Fantasy didn't there's like a subscription with Final Fantasy thing, so I'm just fixing that for right now so I don't forget it. Because otherwise I will forget and oh. That ain't good. Is being stupid. There it was. It was just the transfers thing didn't go through earlier for some reason. Okay, hopefully that is enough for the Final Fantasy thing. If not, then I have to fix it. It is what it is. Much I can do about it. Not for the current moment, anyway. Well, I was thinking Dawnlands, but I'm not really wanting to. I'm just like, nah, I don't wanna. I am wondering if Final Fantasy is playable. Just wondering, like, if I can actually go in. Okay. Right. Let's see if I can actually get in. Or is it gonna be like... Oh, it's downloading new stuff. Okay. So this is gonna take about a minute. For reasons, apparently. A lot of my games are in Steam, which kind of sucks at the current moment. Yeah, we're chilling. Can watch another video while we wait if you want. Maybe. I just feel like a lot of stuff is going wrong today. You know what I mean? Like this and other things, and I'm like... It's like all these things, and all I want to do is just chill and play games. And stuff is just not letting me. Like, what is that about? Hmm. Good morning, Raven Man. No being on the shoulder today. Everything hurts. Thank you. Hmm. Damn it, why is nothing easy? It was just absolutely. Ugh. Can't you go any faster? Nothing today. I'll just update Final Fantasy at another time. I don't want to wait for something and then not be able to play it like that. I'll just deal with it. Get there. Is everything just updating today? You know what? No. I ain't waiting. Yes. Okay, since everything is going to shit, I'm gonna go take my frustration out on bugs, okay? That I'm shooting things. Hey wait, do you have health divers too? You do not. Well, shit. I think I may cut stream short today. Just... yeah. Things are not going great. Yeah, but of course I'm gonna be like an hour or two longer on, obviously. It's still early in the day for me. So I'm gonna see how I'm feeling after 1 or 2 games of Helldivers. See if there's anybody actually on that I want to play with. Really doubt there's anyone though. Honey. Henry's partner going, hi, you wanna go? Yeah. Hell, I might actually just ask him if he... I was about to ask, you ate, but you were eating when I got here. Yeah, I did eat when you got here. I was eating when you got here, so yeah, I did eat. Maybe, maybe I just take 2 ibuprofen. Okay, is this game gonna open or is it gonna be a total bitch? Huh. Hello? Okay, is Helldivers 2 not gonna work either? Are you kidding? Have you tried restarting your computer? Oh my. Not to restart that computer. I shouldn't have to. This is what I mean. Everything is going to absolute shit today. Nothing is working. Nothing wants to work. It's going out the window and hitting the fan. And I'm like, you know what? I might just actually go over to my neighbor and be like, hey, can I paint those things you wanted me to paint? Because I am so done being at the computer at this moment. I think the computer... I think my PC got offended that I left for an entire day. I believe that is why it's not working. But you get one game, that's it. You left me for a day. You only get to play one game. Well, fuck. It's like the first game you play is the only game you get to play. Wait, what? Why? Why do you do this? Like, how dare you leave me alone while you go off having fun? Yeah, pretty much. Or does Helldivers 2 just not want to work when I have VTube Studios on? Is that it? Is that it? Really? Are you gonna give me attitude for that? Oh my god. Are you gonna give me attitude for this? You know what? Fuck it. Everything's just going down the drain. Like, everything's just saying, fuck you! Okay. Oh, I think the food is kicking in. And the energy drink is helping. I have an energy drink. Apparently Helldivers 2 does not want to work with the model. Okay, cool. Good to know. I still wish this would come out right now. I want it now. I mean, look at it. Oh, jeez. Oh my goodness. That was loud. Yeah, it comes out July 2nd. I want it now. Power Simulator is really cool. Next, DLC is coming on the 2nd of July. It's a Power Wash Simulator. Power Wash Simulator is getting like Alice in Wonderland, or Alice's Adventures. That's not too long, yeah, but I'm like, I want it now. I'm bored. You know what? I want to play Final Fantasy, but I don't know if it's like it needs an update, so I'm like I should probably just update it and be done with it. There was a spider crawling on you, damn. It wanted to be your friend, Taylor. It wanted to be friends. Recommencing version update. He didn't say that, he just started touching me. Oh, okay. Alright. Alrighty. That's fair. These days just my model on. Things are taking long. Possibly. Hmm. Oh, this went down the drain pretty fast. Hey. Well, it's gonna take forever. Hmm. Let's see. Hmm. No, well, we're just waiting on stuff. I have enough for the subscription because I really don't want this issue to rise again. And this movie, absolutely. Alright. There we go. Say anything else. Okay. I don't even know. Thank you for the headpat, Taylor. I appreciate it. It was nice. Oh, papa. Okay. No, everything's it. Let's see. Okay, camera's getting pretty warm right now. So we're gonna arrest the camera a little bit. Okay? There we go. There I am. I'm just gonna rest the camera for a little bit because it's really warm right now. I don't want it to like clock out on me. 16 minutes. Yeah. And also since it's really warm, the camera heats it up even more as well. So I just wanna rest it for like an hour. So it can cool off. And then I can turn the model back on again. It's just one of those. Why is this one saying it's 16 minutes more? And and we're just kind of sitting here. So, well, day 2 is not going as good as day 1, but not every day can go as planned, right? Shit happens. Life throws you a curveball. And that's that. Yeah, that's true. Well, if it isn't a little scuff, it's really a stream. Exactly. Like I'm still learning. That is like no secret whatsoever. Scuff is vital. Scuff is vital to the process and content. It do be like that. Sitting here waiting on this thing to finally get off its ass and actually do something like that. There we go. Okay, more than halfway there. Let's go. Alright. All the little fun things, all the good stuff. But hey, Tyler, we got to 351 followers. Isn't that neat? Oh yeah. It's great. It's great. Thanks. Yes, moving on up. Very much so. And it's all thanks to everyone who just, follows, watches, whatever, and everything helps. It really does. I really don't think I am. I think I'm really subpar compared to a lot of others. I just don't want to like make a plan about something like for a day if I don't feel up for it. That's why I'm kind of like just chatting as the thing. You think so? You're doing what good streamers do. Oh, thank you. I still feel like I'm lacking quite a bit. But I learn as I go. I'm not gonna try and learn everything at once and forget something. Kind of like doing stuff at my own pace. And currently, I just want to kind of watch this meter go up. Like, sure, it might be boring, but at least, it gives my painkillers a chance to catch up. Consistent, engaging, and having fun. Thank you. Well, I do try. I try and be engaging. I try and notice everybody that comes in and try to give back as much as I can. I'm at least trying. Taylor, would you mind coming in to VC and just keeping me company? Ilex. You do a really good job. Thank you. Not you, but yeah. Well, by the way, what are you doing, Alex? What are you doing? As in not you, but by the way, another VTuber. Okay. I thought there was gonna be something else. I was trying after I get something to eat. Okay. Alright. I got so scared for a minute. I'm not gonna lie. But another VTuber, yeah. She's the Queen of Scuff. Alright. That is awesome to hear. Somebody that makes Scuff their content. Pretty dope. Or it's, really cool. Frosty. Okay. Rust has been meowing at me all day. Like, ever since I got up. Ever since he came in. And every time I've been outside, in here, or whatever, it doesn't matter, he's been meowing at me constantly, and I don't understand why. And I'm like, is it because I was out all time yesterday? You do realize the window was open so you could get food and water, right? I'm not a monster. I need to figure out what my mom wants. Okay. Alright, you go do that. I was just hoping that things go a little bit right after this update. Those are known for voice acting, so don't know if you know them. I just try to avoid mentioning. Ah, fair enough. Just send me her name in Discord, and I'll go check her out. Hey, Fist. Hey, Miss. You don't know what you want to do. You've been running around like crazy. So he was actually laying on the floor this morning while I was eating breakfast, and the light came over him like a shadow for a minute, and he jumped up and was like, "What was that?" It was a shadow. I'm like, it's a shadow that's been going over you for so many times now, and now you're reacting to it. It's because the fan moves, and sometimes the light hits differently, and it forms a shadow for like a few seconds. And he reacted to that after like a dozen times of it passing over him, and I'm like, you're kidding, right? Jumped at a shadow. I'm like, I'm eating breakfast, man. Let me eat breakfast. Like waking up, eating breakfast, seeing my cat jump at nothing, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Because he actually, when he jumped, I kind of like, oh shit, what's going on? But apparently it jumped at nothing. Or he might have seen something in the window and scared it off. I don't fucking know. What's funny, if you search Queen of Scuff on YouTube, she is the first result. Ah, fair enough. Alright, then I'll just do that. Thank you, Ilex. Queen of Scuff, huh? Alright, written down. Alright, one more minute. Alright, so then we can see if we can actually get online and play the game. I mean, we could go back to Genshin and all that, because it is still a fun game. Also link to her Twitch in your Discord. Thank you. I appreciate you. I also like getting to know about other streamers and stuff. Ah, the game is unavailable for play during maintenance. It's maintenance day. Okay. Alright, that's what that thing was. Okay, cool. Alright. Okay. I mean, I could try Pal World again, but it needs an update and it's a big one. So, let's see. I want to try and play Helldivers 2, but that little tidbit. Fuck it. Let's try Helldivers 2. Let's see if it wants to work now that we don't have our model up. If it works when we don't have the model up, I am going... You know what? Then we know, right? Then we know. This energy drink is gonna save me for the rest of the fucking day. A lot of stuff has been happening today. Oh. It is what it is. Sometimes it just takes the game a little bit to actually start for some reason. It sometimes be like that. Oh, Ilex. Ow. I wanted to ask about something, but I'm not so sure. You didn't do it. Oh no, it's something to do with the drawing program with the pad that connects to the computer. Well, it wants to work when I'm not using the model. Now we know. Ooh, the major order was actually completed. Sweet! Alright, let's see. We're trying to get super credits so we can get this one. I need 1,000 super credits, and I'm trying to just get them in the game. You can actually get them through playing. You don't have to buy them. It's pretty cool. And I just spend 128 more. So I can get 100. I'm not so sure. That's why I was like hoping that you could come on over at some point. And just, you know, help me have a look over. Oh no, I don't have enough. Oh, that's fine. That's perfectly fine. Oh, I would probably like you to be here in person just to explain it to me as well. But only when you have time. So don't worry. Take it on another day. Let's see what partner said. Wait, what? Okay, Helldivers 2 just crashed. You know what? No, we're not doing this. Helldivers 2 just fucking crashed. Oh yeah. No, give me the window. There. Oh my goodness. What is going on? Okay. There we go. Go away. There it is. Back. At least for a little bit. I just... Everything's going absolute shit today. About bad luck. Let's check with the drivers. With the driver easy. I was gonna put that to the side for a minute. It's not your fault, Taylor. Shit happens. Not everything can go your way all the time, man. That's life. It is what it is. Not much we can do about it. Too bad. So sad. Well, everything's up to date, apparently. It's just, games are being stupid today. Well, I can't be, like, pissed off at everything, right? That just takes extra energy and, you know, kills the mood and the vibe and everything else. I'm like, you know what? No. Fuck that. We're just gonna try and stay positive, okay? Just to clarify, this hole we've been digging all night, is it the right one for the trap? I mean, if it's not, we might need to dig another hole. I just want to be sure we're not wasting time digging the wrong hole, because if we have to dig another one, it'd be a lot of extra work. So can you confirm this hole is correct, or should we be digging a new one? Just want to make sure we're on the right track and not making a mistake with the hole. Oh my... Did you just dig a hole in my freaking... in my forest, man? And stop calling me Dadly. Stop it. Oh, I need to... Fill up the hole. Do not dig any more holes, please. No. It's deadly. It's not deadly. It's deadly. No. Taylor. Fuck. Shit. God damn it. Why is this a thing? Why has this become a thing? Oh my god. Need to stop this. The torture has begun. It's too funny not to be a thing. I'm like, which is worse, Momly or Dadly? Momly. Momly's worse. I hate so many things right now. I need I can't. I can't speak. I can't fucking function. Thank you for the leg, Taylor, but I fucking can't, man. I like when I get my hands on. If I have any strength left, I will freaking take a pillar and I will smash your head with it. It's a sign of becoming a proper VTuber when you get nicknames. Right, I can't argue this, but I also want to argue this. I can't argue it, but I want to, but I can't, but I want to! Ah! Okay, breathe. If I could fuck. This is me right now. This is me right now. Because I'm the maker of things is the thing you wanted. I mean, I know you needed a thing and I made this thing, but it's I want to make sure I made the correct thing for the plans, so can you confirm it? This is the thing you had in mind, or do I need to make another thing? Just double checking, because as the maker of things, I want to get around. Oh my fucking god, you know what? Just. I want to scream. I can't. I was just all the feelings today. All the feelings today. Oh, just. Oops, I'm trying to sound like Kronk from Emperor's New Groove. Oh my god. Oh my god. Please, no. Disregard the second long one. Oh my god. Well, at least we're ending it on a high note. Sadly, I will have to cut stream short today. Just nothing is working. Everything's just saying no today, so I love Kronk. He is the best character. I know. Pull the lever, Kronk! Wrong lever! There is apparently an amusement park when where you stand on a trap door, and the guy that's standing there pulls a lever and goes, and you drop down into the slide. Apparently, there was a guy that was working. He posted it. It's like, so I do this for a living, and I pull the lever, and everybody goes down into the slide. And this one person comes up and says, "Pull the lever, Kronk!" And I pull the lever, and then a few minutes later, wrong lever! I just couldn't help but laugh. It's like absolutely fucking. It was so cool. It's such a cool. Me and partner read it somewhere, and we were just like. It's like all day pulling that lever, absolutely like I hate life kind of moment. And then this person shows up and is like it was hilarious. Like a few minutes or a few seconds, I don't remember, but it was absolutely. It's like made his fucking day, right? Cool stories. No, nothing is going right today. Just everything's going to absolute shit. No games want to work, and you know what? I'm just gonna hop off. I am going to ring you, Alex. I'm gonna have to live with this, aren't I? I'm gonna have to live with this fucking name. No. It's just one of those days where nothing is working today. Like, even stuff here at home is just going. It's just one of those days where nothing is going right, no matter what I do. It's like the internet for my phone is on the fritz. My PlayStation 4 didn't want to work today. It's like it didn't want to work earlier, and now it wants to work, and it doesn't want to connect to the internet, and TV is having a goddamn stroke. Everything is going just hitting the fucking fan. Like, damn, nothing is working. It's just one of those days. So I'm just gonna have a positive spin on this. We're just gonna take this as a sign, and we're gonna pick it up tomorrow. So I'll rest for the rest of the day, do chill things, and fix the whole Ilex. This is your fault. It's Ilex's fault that the stream is ended soon. He had to ruin the wall that was encasing it. Dude, fix it before tomorrow, please. Aw. Flesh and Blood tonight? No. No, I do not. Everything hurts, man. Everything hurts. Yeah, but thanks for asking. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and raid out. Let's copy the raid message and let's go pay some. Let's go, let's let Ilex destroy something else in someone else's chat. Thank you all so much for joining me here today. We're gonna raid out to damn. What am I doing? Raid out to Reverend. If I wrote the name correctly. Yes. Alright, my darlings. I will see you all tomorrow. Of course, please do take care of yourself, meaning eat, hydrate, and rest. These are very important. Please do maintain them. If you have the opportunity and the energy, please do try and take care of each other. But most importantly, do remember you are beautiful creatures. Now, I'll be signing off. I will see you all tomorrow for the day 3 of our 7-day event. But until then, my darlings, I hope you have an awesome, wonderful rest of your day.